Hello everyone, I am Ritika Zuzgar, Assistant Professor IT Department. So in my previous video, we learned about what is mean by simplex method and what is the standard form of a simplex method by solving the linear programming problem. So in this video, we learn about simplex method example. So what is the simplex method? The simplex method is a systematic procedure for generating and testing the candidate vertex solution to a linear program. So this simplex method is a iterative process which consists of first designing a basic feasible solution or a program and then produce towards the optimal solution. So in this simplex method we are using the feasible solution and optimal solution and testing each feasible solution for the optimality to know whether the solution on hand is optimal or not. So if the given solution is not optimal, then redesign the program and test for the optimality until the test confirms optimality. Okay, so this process is called as a iterative process. So hence we can say that the simplex method depends on the two concepts known as the feasibility and optimality. Okay, so in the linear programming problem we can solve our given problem by using simplex method using two concepts, feasible solution and optimal solution. So while solving the simplex method problem, there is some standard form of a linear programming problem. So the general standard form of a linear programming problem is expressed as, so this is our objective function c1 x1 plus c2 x2 so on. And in the simplex method we are adding some slack variables here. Okay, so here the s1, s2 and sm are the slack variables, and this objective function is constructed to this decision variable. So these are the different decision variables, and here also we are adding slack variables s1, s2, sn up to the sm, and there are some non-negativity constraint also x1, x2 so on up to the xn, and s1, s2 up to the sm is greater than equal to 0. So these are the all non-negativity constraint. So this is a simple standard form of a linear programming problem. So while solving the simplex method, there are slack variables are used. So what is mean by objective function, optimal solution, feasible solution, basic solution, and slack variable, surplus variable, artificial variables, and unbound solution. So before starting the example, first we discuss these components. So first is the objective function. So the function that is either being minimized or maximized. For example, it may represent the cost that you are trying to minimize. So in a linear programming problem, what is our objective? Minimize the cost and maximize the profit. Okay, so there are two possible conditions in the linear programming problem while solving the linear programming problem. Okay, minimize the cost or maximize the profit. Then next is the optimal solution of vector x, which is the both feasible, satisfying the constraint, and the optimal, that is obtaining the largest and smallest objective value. So the constraint, a set of equalities and inequalities that the feasible solution must satisfy. Okay, so this is the optimal solution. Then feasible solution, a solution vector x which satisfies the constraint. So this is a feasible solution. Then basic solution, x of ax equal to b is a basic feasible solution or a basic solution if the n component of x can be partitioned into the m basic and n minus m non-basic variables. So in a such a way that the m column of A corresponding to the basic variables form a non-singular basis and the value of each non-basis variables is a 0. So the constraint matrix A has m rows, that is constraint, and n columns, that is variables. Okay, so this is a basic solution. Then what is mean by slack variable? So in the simplex method standard form, we are adding slack variables in the objective function also and structure constraint also. So a variable added to the problem to eliminate less than constraint. Okay, so this is the slack variable. So this slack variable represents unused resources. So these variables yields no profit. Therefore, such variables are added to the original objective function with zero coefficient. So we can add these slack variables into the objective function with a zero cost value. Okay. Then the slack variables are also defined as the non-negative variables, which are added in the LHS of the constraint to convert the inequalities into the equation. Okay. So if we are having one equation, so we can add the slack variable in the LHS side. For that, if we are adding this slack variable into the LHS side, then the less than equal to sign becomes equal. Okay, for the equality purpose, we are adding the slack variables into the LHS side of a equation. Then surplus variable, a variable added to the problem to eliminate greater than constraint. If we are having the LHS is greater than equal to RHS, so in that case we are using the surplus variable. If we are having the LHS is less than equal to RHS, so in that case we are using the slack variable. But if we are having the LHS side is greater than equal to RHS side, then in that case we are using the surplus variable. Okay, so this surplus variable represents amount by which solution values exceed the resources. So these variables are also called as a negative slack variables. So the surplus variables is similar to the slack variables, carry a zero coefficient in the objective function. So in the objective function we are using slack variables with a zero coefficient. So these surplus variables are similar to the slack variables. We can add these surplus variables into the objective functions with a zero coefficient value. So the surplus variables which are removed from the LHS of the constraints to convert the inequality greater than equal to into an equation. But in a slack variables we are using the less than equal to sign in the equation. If we are having the less than equal to sign in the equation, so in that case we are using the slack variable. If we are having the greater than equal to sign in the equation, so in that case we are using the surplus variables. Okay. Then next is the artificial variables. What is meant by artificial variables? So these variables are defined as a non-negative variables which are added in the LHS of the constraint to convert the equality into the standard form of a simplex. Okay, and the variable added to the linear program in phase 1 to aid the finding a feasible solution. For finding the feasible solution, we can use artificial variables into the LHS of the constraint. The next is the unbound solution. So for some linear programs, it is possible to make the objective arbitrarily small without bound. So such an linear program is said to have the unbounded solution. Okay, so these are the different components used in the simplex method. The next part is to solve a linear programming model using the simplex method. So there are different steps are used. So first step is the standard form. First we have to convert our equation into the standard form of a simplex method. Then second step is introducing the slack variables. We can add these slack variables into the standard form of our objective function. Then creating the table. The fourth step is the pivot variables. Fifth step, creating the new tabular, checking for the optimality, identify the optimal values. Okay, so this is a simple algorithm for the simplex method. We have to convert our equation into the standard form, then adding the slack variables, create a table, find out the pivot variables. Then by using this pivot variable again we can regenerate our table, checking for the optimality and identify the optimal values. So by using these steps we can find out a optimal solution for a linear programming problem. Okay, the next part is an example. So here the simplex method for a standard maximization problem. So there is one example. We have a objective function is in the form of a maximization problem. Okay, so this is a maximization. P equal to 2x plus 5y. So this is our objective function. And this objective function is subjected to these two constraints. So these are the two decision variables, or we can say that the constraint 2x plus y is less than equal to 5 and x plus 2y is less than equal to 4. And we have one non-negativity constraint, x is greater than equal to 0 and y is greater than equal to 0. Okay, so here less than equal to sign is used. Okay, so this is the LHS is less than equal to RHS, and again for the second equation also the LHS is less than equal to RHS. So if we are having the less than equal to sign, so in that case we are using the slack variables. See here. So solution for this problem is, first step is what? Convert this system inequalities or a constraint into the equation using the slack variables. Okay, first we have to convert this problem into the standard form. So this is our main example. So for this less than equal to sign, we have to convert it into the equality sign. Okay, so by using adding the slack variables. See here, for the objective functions, we are making this objective function, set the objective function equal to 0. So all these RHS are moving into the LHS side. Okay, so here P plus minus 2x minus 5y. Okay, and we are adding two slack variable for this equation also and second equation also. So here I am using two slack variables s and t. Okay, so for this objective function, slack variables are added s and t with a 0 coefficient value. So the equation become minus 2x minus 5y plus 0s plus 0t plus 1p equal to 0. So here RHS is 0 and LHS is this equation. And again we are adding slack variables into these two constraints. So 2x plus y plus we are adding one slack variable 1s plus 0 coefficient for the t variable plus 0p equal to 5. And for the second constraint we are using the t coefficient value is a 1 and among all this s and p is a 0. So x plus 2y plus 0s plus 1 coefficient for this slack variable t plus 0p equal to 4. Okay, so we are having these three equations, one objective function and two decision variables. Okay, then third step is what? Create a simplex table and label the active or a basic variables. Okay, so what are the basic variables? X and Y are the basic variables, and what are the active variables? S, T and P. So these are the three active variables and two basic variables. So create a table. So here in this table there are three active variable S, T and P and basic variable X, Y. Okay, so we are using these equations. First two constraints are 2, 1, 1, 0, 0, 5. So here 2, 1, 1, 0, 0, 5. And for the second equation 1, 2, 0, 1, 0, 4. 1, 2, 0, 1, 0, 4. So RHS, for the RHS we are using the variable A, and in the last row we are adding the objective functions. So what is our objective function? Minus 2, minus 5, 0, 0, 1, 0. Minus 2, minus 5, 0, 0, 1, 0. So in this table, we are adding two constraints in the top of the table and objective function is the bottom of the table. Okay, so this is a simple table. Then fourth step is select the pivot column, which is the most negative number on the left hand side of the bottom row. Okay, so see here in this table, in the bottom row is objective function. So in this bottom row, what is the most negative number? So minus 5 is the most negative number. Okay, so the column is a 1. So here the minus 5 is the most negative number. So this column Y becomes our pivot column. Okay, so Y column is our pivot column. And if all these bottom row are non-negative, then we are done. Okay, so we get an optimal solution here. But in this table there is a no positive numbers are present. There are two negative numbers are present here. So among these two negative numbers, what is the most negative number? -5. Okay. So this column is our pivot column. So after finding the pivot column, find out the pivot row. So select the pivot row. So how to find out the pivot row? By using a ratio. So divide each entry in the constant column by the corresponding positive entry in the pivot column. Then the smallest positive ratio indicate our pivot row. So find out the pivot row here. So I am created one column here, ratio. So how to find out the ratio? Dividing the constant column. So this is our pivot column, constant column, by using this RHS side. Okay, so A divided by 1. So 5 divided by 1 equal to 5. 4 divided by 2 is equal to 2. So by using these two values, what is the smallest positive ratio? So this smallest positive ratio is called as a pivot row. So 2 is the smallest ratio. So this is our pivot column. Sorry, pivot row. So here from the ratio column 2 is the smallest number. So select T row as our pivot row. So after finding this pivot column and pivot row, the next step is what? Select the pivot, which is the entry in the pivot column and pivot row. So the pivot must be positive, it cannot be 0. See here. So we have one pivot column and also the pivot row. So pivot column contain Y variable, which is the incoming variable, and pivot row has a T variables, which is a outgoing variable. Okay, pivot row has a T variable, which is a outgoing variable. So we are replacing this T by using this Y. Okay, Y is an incoming variable and T is an outgoing variable. So we are replacing this T by Y. And the here for this pivot column and pivot row, the lying element is what? 2. So 2 is the pivot element. So here 2 is our pivot element. So Y is our pivot column and T is our pivot row. We are replacing this Y because Y is the incoming variable and uh, T is outgoing variables for this row. So we are replacing this T by Y and 2 is our pivot element or a key element. Then next step is what? Perform row operation to make the pivot equal to 1 and remaining element in the pivot column equal to 0. See here in this table, what is our key element? 2. So we have to make this 2 as a 1 and remaining values of this column becomes 0. So we have to make this 2 as a 1, 1 as a 0 and -5 as a 0. Because in this simplex table, for these active variables S, T and P, we are creating the identity matrix here. Okay, 1 0 0 0 1 0 0 0 1. Okay, so here we are creating the identity matrix. So after finding the pivot column and pivot row, we get one key element. So we have to make this pivot element as a 1 and remaining values are 0 and 0. Okay, because we are replacing this T. Okay, we are replacing this T by Y. So for this T, the identity matrix is what? 0 1 0. So here we have to make the value is 1 for this 2 and remaining values are 0 0 1 0. So the perform row operation to make the pivot equal to 1 and remaining element in the pivot column equal to 0. So I have created a previous table here and by using this table we are creating a new updated table. So we have to perform the row operation for this 2. Okay. So for performing this 2 we have to divide this value by 2. So after dividing this value by 2, we get the 1 here. So what is the operation for this second row? R2 equal to, for this R2 operation, R2 equal to 1 divided by 2 into the R2 previous. So what is our previous value of R2? 2. Okay, so if we are dividing this 2 by 2, so we get value is a 1 here. So this operation is for all this row, second row, R2 row. Okay, so here we get 1. Similarly for this value, 1 by 2, for this is 0, 1 divided by 2, 0, and 4 divided by 2, it becomes 2. Okay, so this is our R1, R2 and R3. So again we have to make the equation for the remaining values. So after finding this value is 1, we have to make this 1 as a 0 and minus 5 as a 0. So remaining element in the pivot column equal to 0. So this is our updated table. And if we have to find if we are getting this value as a 0, so if we are using the equation like R1, so this is our R1. So R1 is what? 1 minus R2 previous. So what is our R2 previous? 1. Okay, so this is our R2, 1. After updating this value, so 1 minus 1, it becomes 0. Okay, so this operation is performed for all this R1 row. So R1 is what? 2 minus R2, 1 by 2. Okay, so we get 3 by 2, 0, then 1 minus 0, so 0 minus 0. Okay, so here we get a 1 for a S. Okay, for S, 1 minus 0, 1. For a T, 0 minus 1 by 2, minus 1 by 2. 0 minus 0, 0. 5 minus 2, it becomes 3. Similarly for R3. So if we have to get this value as a 0, so we are using the equation like R3. So what is our R3? Minus 5 plus 5 into R2 previous is what? 1. So if we are adding 5 into 1 for this R2, so we get the equation is minus 5 plus 5 is equal to 0. So here the R3 becomes 0. And for the remaining values are minus 2 plus 5. So we get 1 by 2. Similarly for S, 0 plus 5 into 0, so we get 0 here. For the T, 0 plus 5 into 1 by 2, so we get 5 by 2. Then next 1 plus 5 into 0, we get 1 here. And for the next 0 plus 5 into 2, so 0 plus 5 into 2 is a 10 here. Okay. So this is our updated table. The next step is what? Repeat the process by identifying the most negative entry in the last row. So in this example, so in this table, the last row contain all the values are positive. There is no negative elements are present. 1 by 2, 0, 0, 5 by 2, 1 and 10. There are all the values are in the form of a positive. There is no negative entry in the last row. Okay. So if you are not getting the negative entry in the last row, so we are done here. Okay, so if we are getting one negative value for minus 1 by 2, so again repeat the procedure from the fourth step. Okay, repeat the process from this fourth step. Find out the pivot row, pivot column, then find out the pivot row, then replace the pivot column by pivot row, then perform the row operation by using this sum equations. Okay, but in this example we are getting all these values are a positive form. So the next step is, once the left hand side of the last row is all non-negative, the solution can be found. Okay, then find out the optimal solution. The value of each row variable or active variable is equal to the rightmost entry in the row, all inactive variables equal to 0. So see here. So first we have the identity matrix is 1 0 0, 0 1 0 and 0 0 1. But here after performing the simplex method, we get the identity matrix is 0 1 0, 1 0 0 and 0 0 1. So we are replacing this T by Y. Okay, so Y makes identity matrix, identity values here, and T is minus 1 by 2, 1 by 2 and 5 by 2. So answer is, for this column, S is equal to 3, Y is equal to 2 and P is equal to 10. So if we are considering the objective function equal to P equal to 2x plus 5y, so x is what? 0. Okay. So we are getting only y equal to 3, not a x equal to, so for that y equal to 3, x is 0. Okay, we are not getting x value here. So if we are putting the x equal to 0 here, plus 5 into y is what? 3. Okay. So objective function is P equal to 2x plus 5y. So the maximum objective function of P equal to 10 at the point x comma y is equal to 0 comma 2. So if we are considering the xy coordinates are 0 comma 2, so in that case we are getting the P equal to 10. Okay, so 2x is 0 plus 5 into 2. So, so 5 into 2 is what? 10. So we get a P equal to 10 at the point 0 comma 2. So here y is what? 2. Okay, so there is one problem. S equal to 3 and y is equal to 2. So if you are putting y equal to 2 over here, so we get P equal to 10. So this is our optimal solution for a P equal to 10 is a 0 comma 2. Okay, S equal to 3, y equal to 2, P equal to 10. Okay, so this is a simplex method for a linear programming problem.